So she was saying that as long as there's a green light, that means that that thing's getting power. Got some stuff to make sense of now. I thought maybe you could dump it somewhere. No. If you press one of the ones that does not have power in it right now, nothing happens. I don't think you can even press the bottom ones. Can I do them now? Ah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Say hello to the water jugs puzzle. Okay, so that's probably the elevator, right? So I can probably take that out. Dump that like over here or something. So the top one is the source and the bottom one is the destination, basically. Okay. That at least gets it started. Okay, so now the thing that has the dot on the bottom and the thing that has the dot on the right are both powered on. Gives me a couple of options. But that also means that now I know what to look for. I need to look for these kinds of symbols. Can I go over there? Symbols like this. Let's photograph it from afar. There we go. So I want to find all those symbols and I want to photograph each of them one by one. And then if they're all photographed, I can tell what each of those symbols actually means. So one of them was glowing from the get-go. That's probably the one by the tram? I think that was the tram one's one we saw at the beginning. So now I need to go back through my previous locations and see where I can find them. Let's teleport back to the beginning. How do I do that? Oh, you rotate the view. How does this work? How does this work? Did they make this as confusing as possible? I don't know how to zip. Okay, I was poking around and I think I found something about how, like, I guess the places you can't go to because they're inaccessible from your current position are grayed out? Is that what that's supposed to mean? It probably means the elevator. It's like you probably have to warp to the elevator itself, but then you can probably... Oh yeah. Now where am I, though? Oh, this is the warp point. Okay. The thing that looks like a submarine thing. Some of these screenshots are not as useful as you would hope for the purposes of identifying what each spot is. But anyway, my current goal is to find those symbols if I can. I don't see one here. This area might not be similarly powered. So I want to backtrack through the game that I've seen so far and find the symbols that match the power grid. So I can cross-compare those things. Spacebar. Oh, kinda. Spacebar still lets you skip. Kind of. In that, it still takes a while to load where to move, so... Maybe not the most effective skip. I'm curious about this room because this is where the laser thing's supposed to happen. Laser in the fireplace thing is supposed to show me something. But I don't really see a matching diagram anywhere. Was it inside? I wonder? No. This is entirely separate then. It's definitely gonna take me a while to get used to the feeling of just there being like a 2-second or 3-second pause every time I click on something. Ah. 2 of the symbols are here. There we go. I never took a picture of the actual grid, did I? To compare. So I found that one, and I found these ones. So left and right are here, and the thing that looks like... traffic lights, I have a photo of. So I can affect left or right. Okay, so if I close... It says right here. I think I can affect whether the gate is open or closed, and I think if it's closed, it might redirect the water onto the water wheel. It still doesn't make as much sense as I would expect it to. Huh. Because there's no left or right switch. Maybe I have to get both of them turned on, regardless, for anything to work? Possibly. Alright, so that's 2 symbols. We have 3 symbols down. I think one of them was at the very beginning. If I take the elevator back up. Maybe this is the secret reason why this game is ranked as being twice as long as most Myst games. Is, just how long it takes to get back to a place you've been to before. That lamp's on. That wasn't before, was it? That's as close as we can get. There we go. So, what do I do if I want to turn on left and right? Let's see. We are close. 1, 2... This is, what, 4, 8, 10. 4, 8, 10. What I need is 5. So I have 10 total in this stack, and I need to get just 5 of it out. Let's see here. These are 7 tall. If I put this into 7, it would become... This would become 3 tall. And this would be 7. And then if I subtract... If this was 7 and I put it into here, that would put 4 here and 3 here. 3 plus 3 would be 6, which is still too many. Maybe a taller stack then? I'm guessing that I depowered the elevator, which is probably why I can't teleport back to the beginning anymore. Let's see here. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm kind of tired of these, honestly. The water bucket puzzle, we've just done it so many times now. Trying to break it down into intervals so I can try to add certain things up to each other. The exact number I need is I need 5. Right now I've got 4, 3, and 3. I don't want to mess this one up because it's already set up. It feels like I shouldn't screw with that. Of course, it would all fit perfectly inside. That's probably how I get 1 off, isn't it? So these are 4, 4. This is 7, though. So if I put... Oops. If I put 4 and 4 into 7, we'd get 1 remainder. There we go. I can put that there. There we go. Bink, bink. Ooh. Aren't you excited about that? Almost like I just went and accomplished something. The game's like, no, stop. You need to acknowledge your accomplishments. We're kicking you out, so you understand what you just did. Okay, maybe that one? None of these really scream, I'm at the waterfall. Oh, that's the elevator. Can I see the elevator symbol? That's the elevator symbol, is the up-down one. Kind of thought so. I wish I could get a better photo so you could tell where it is better. It just looks like a photo of the symbol and not much else. But oh well. That's interesting, by the way. Huh. It's like the aspect ratio changes when I go into that view. It's narrower. So I figured that's what this was. And so that's why that's grayed out, is I can't go back to the Atrus' study unless I fix the fact that the power is off right now. But right now I'm trying to fix the water wheel. This probably isn't even a good way of getting there. Screw it, let's just walk. Yeah, none of the teleport spots are actually to the puzzle. Oh, right. This side has a couple plants in it. There we go. Out of a point of curiosity... I'm gonna turn all the graphics off real quick. And see if that leads to a massive change in loading time. The answer is absolutely not. It is an identical amount of loading time. Alright, well, worth checking. I was curious if something was making the game run slowly, but no, I think that's just how this game... how the movement works in this game. I'm trying not to gripe on it too hard, but I'm just like... You click and then you freeze for like 3 seconds, and it just feels jarring. After, especially for the 4th game to suddenly be this way. We did it. There we go. Oh. Is that a normal speed? Am I breaking something? I'm a little worried. Ha, look over there. You can kind of make out the artifacts of video compression, so you can kind of tell that this is like a separate video layer that's rendered over the actual background. It's got, what does it look like? It looks like a Factorio building, actually. The way that every Factorio building is like a weird little, like, weird, oddly articulate and well-animated little, like, sprite. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Neat. Ooh. Everything's inaccessible. Maybe an event's coming my way. Hi. Did I just wave to her? I'm gonna say that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay. Tap tap. Just in the context of what's happened, it's kind of funny to be poking at things. I'm just barely holding on. I'm foggy. Did she do that? That was a weird coincidence that she just walked across that when it happened. Oh, I'm all better now. Wow, it's just nighttime now, just like that. Okay. How's the power looking? Is everything just powered on now, period? Now that I turned the water wheel on? Was that the only part of the puzzle I had to do? Okay, so the water bucket puzzle was only for one step. I thought I was gonna have to continually transfer back and forth. That's why I was planning on chronicling all the different pictures I have seen before. But the whole thing's working now. Never mind. I suppose I can get rid of these then, for the sake of our backlog. Trying to keep on top of our puzzles so I can... You know, what we did with abduction and Quern and stuff. This thing of, like, trying to keep track of which ones we've done, so this thing's nice and clean. And it's like a nice little log of what we've done in the past. I really like the Quern one, though. Abduction was screenshots just like this one is, but Quern was cool, because it's like you got these little, like, filtered sketchbook drawings that look neat. So now the greenhouse is running again. It's probably good. That's probably good news. I'm wondering if this door can open now. Nope. Well, he said to restore power with the water wheel and turn the antenna on the roof on, so maybe it's time to head back to the main building. We saw the daughter wander off. She might be in danger, potentially, but I don't know how to get to her, because she walked across the same platform that collapsed, I think. Is that a downward... Oh, that is a downward ladder. I didn't see that before. Hello. Ooh. This could serve as a key. There we go. Looks like a family tree. And it's the same writing we saw the two names in before. Might be able to compare the drawings. Except I can't... I don't even know how to pronounce the letters or what they look like. That one starts with DW and ends with LL, kind of. That one kind of has AKR in it a little bit. DWLL AKR. Does anyone else look like that? I think this is the first one. The DWLL. I don't see it anywhere else. I think this might be the second one, but this one looks the same down here. So it's hard to say. They seem adjacent with each other, so they could potentially be like Catherine and Akinar, like I was guessing before. And this could be the three children. But then I'm so bad at family trees, like I don't know what's going on with this weird layout. This came up a little bit with Edith Finch, where I was like, this family tree does not follow the layout that I thought family trees followed, so either I'm out of the loop or something weird happened. Granted, I don't really encounter family trees too often. Oh. Ooh. Can I light it up? Ooh. That's useful. That's a way better picture at the very least. Can I rotate the light around? Seems not as important. Then I can just make it point up. Curious about that. There's weird holes in the leaves. I'm wondering if the light might go through them in a certain way. So now that I have the light pointing up, let's go back up. Yeah, look at that. It might not be anything, but it kind of just looks important. Just trying to see if facing the leaves from a certain direction makes the shadows spell something, or maybe not. Kind of on the wrong side for the shadows to show anything anyway. I'm actually not entirely sure how these shadows are even working, actually. If the light sources are above it and below it, how are there weird grid shadows everywhere? Is there a light source that... I guess there's some light sources that are right outside, so maybe that's where that's coming from. It seems weird. Well, the good news is the elevator's supposed to work now. I didn't even have to reroute power again. Let's go back up. I kind of want to do another pass. Because he said that there was supposed to be like a crystal sequence. So did I miss it? I think I missed something here. While I was getting used to the movement and everything. Ooh. These are viewfinders for 3 different worlds. Or are these all viewfinders of just this world? That looks like the beginning area of Exile, when you first set foot in, not Akinar, Atrus's room, before our villain-to-be shows up. Is there any part of this you can actually interact with? You can just awkwardly tap on it. So many tapping noises available to everybody. Ah, it's a telescope, but it's closed. Can I turn on the telescope from the seat? Hello. Was this doing this before? Maybe the power was out? Maybe that affected it? I don't think this is panning out. I think we need to figure out how to open it first. What is this? Ah! There we are. Yeah, haha, I found it. Oh, now the button works. So we can gaze through the stars and this system as a whole. Is that me broadcasting in a direction? I think I just turned the radio on. That was like a radio tower symbol. Pretty sure I need more information than I have though first. How do I get out? Am I trapped? Ah. I need to manually disengage first. The power is on at the very least. Dare I press something? Ah, he said the crystal sequence. I bet I grab the crystals and put them in here. They'll shut because everything has to return to its normal place whenever you're done with it. Okay. Let's go. Let's look for information then again. Since I seem to have missed it. I need information about the crystal sequence. Did I miss this one? Yeah, I guess so. Well, there's a familiar handwriting, isn't it? 97-915. I am always surprised by how good it feels to return home after one of my journeys. In the day, heat shimmers off the cliffs, bathing me in unexpected warmth. At night, gentle breezes stir the lake, and I often hear Catherine singing to Yeesha. The sound of their voices fills me with such joy. I find myself wondering why I ever left. Perhaps I am more aware of this tonight, having spent so much time alone in Rhyme. The trip was unavoidable. It has been weeks since I viewed Cirrus and Akinar's prison ages, and I needed to be assured of their safety. The crystal viewer did not show much, so I began considering how I might improve it. I'm now fairly certain I can achieve a tighter image if I redesign the mechanism itself. I have yet to tell Catherine of these plans. I do not wish to raise her hopes prematurely. After far too brief a visit with my family, I have returned to Rhyme to conduct preliminary tests. The frigid temperatures of the age are vital for the crystals to function, yet I find it increasingly difficult to work in the cold. Perhaps I can find a way to simulate extreme temperatures inside the viewer itself, so that I can install it in Tamana when ready. I gotta say, the increased resolution has significantly improved his handwriting. That might be important, just in case. Tonight I set aside experimentation for a few hours to watch the lights illuminate Rhyme's sky. Their beauty has not dimmed since I first saw them. I could not fully enjoy the show, however, for it put me in mind of Cirrus and Akinar, and the months we spent here constructing the towers. Soon, what had been a happy memory for me was mired in regrets. I doubt I will ever know what caused my sons to become so greedy. I only know that when they looked at the ages described in my library, fantastic worlds one could travel to easily, simply by touching a book's linking panel, they saw only dreams of wealth and power. They devised a plan, an evil plan, when my back was turned. They linked to my ages, plundered, and destroyed them. I know Cirrus and Akinar must pay a price for these crimes, yet it brings me no joy to picture them stranded on the 2 uninhabited ages I wrote to protect my library from thieves. I only hope that my sons will someday reject their wicked yearnings and find it in their heart to reform. After experimenting with several liquid gases, I have found a pressure variable that should allow the crystal viewer to function in Tamana. Tomorrow, I link to Yeesha to enlist help from the Guild of Machinists. Catherine was unusually subdued when I showed her the new blueprints. She trusts that the viewer will work, but wishes we could visit our sons in person. I would like that as well, but until I am convinced of remorse, I cannot risk their escaping. I was fairly certain the evaporator coils would work, and indeed I was able to achieve a blurry image of the spire within the new viewer's blank book. Unfortunately, a more powerful suppressor is needed to stabilize the image. Guildmaster Atrus suggested that I install several geodes inside of the roof of the observatory, then use an antenna to focus them. This should amplify the clean frequency enough so that the crystal viewer can work. Oh, there's the sequence, I think. Success! Not only was I able to view both Spire and Haven, but I also saw my laboratory on Rhyme quite clearly. The crystal code for Rhyme was difficult to remember, having not had much reason to use it previously. I must make a full list of codes soon. I keep thinking soon is so on because there's a weird kerning problem with the O's. But for now I will keep Rhymes close at hand.